Taiwan is facing fresh threats from China. Beijing has found a new weakness that it can exploit. After building pressure by air and sea, China is targeting an important lifeline of Taipei, the undersea cables, the cables that connect Taiwan to the world. These cables carry vital communications, and China is trying to cut them. Yesterday, Taiwan's coastguard detained a cargo ship. The ship is registered under a Togolese flag, so its actual ownership is unclear. It had 8 crew members, all of them are Chinese, and Taiwan has detained all of them. The first alert came on Tuesday morning from a telecom company in Taiwan. It said a communication cable in the Taiwan Strait had been damaged. And Taiwan suspects China's involvement. It has been monitoring the cables and this cargo ship. Taiwan found it to be engaging in suspicious activities. 4 days ago, the ship was spotted near the cable. It had stopped nearby. Then on Tuesday, it dropped anchor. About an hour later, the cable was damaged. Taiwan's Coast Guard responded quickly. First, they tried to contact the Chinese crew by speaker and radio, but the ship did not respond. So left with no choice, the Taiwanese intercepted the vessel. And how has China reacted? They started by dismissing Taiwan's claims.
There are over 100 incidents of submarine optical cables incurring damage that happen around the world every year, which is a common maritime accident. While the basic facts and the people responsible for the accident have not yet been clarified, the Democratic Progressive Party authorities have deliberately exaggerated the situation in an attempt at political manipulation, which will not enjoy popular support.
For Taiwan, this is a very serious issue. They've drawn up a list of suspicious ships with 50 names on it, 50. Taiwanese authorities are keeping a close eye on them for 2 reasons. 1, the true ownership of these ships remains a mystery. And 2, the ships linger around Taiwan for long periods of time. This is a new security threat for Taiwan. There is no other way to see this. China is targeting its weak spots. These undersea cables are critical for Taiwan. They are strategic assets. The island's economy depends on them. So does its military. If China invades, Taiwan's military would need these cables to send important communication out and to stay connected with its allies. So if China cuts these cables, Taiwan could go dark. And this is not the first time a cable has been damaged. Last month, there was a similar incident. A cable was cut. Taiwan launched an investigation into the Shunxing 39, a Chinese-owned ship registered in Cameroon. Taiwan tried to stop this ship and investigate it, but due to bad weather, they could not board it. The Chinese ship managed to escape. It ended up sailing to South Korea. And now there are more ships in Taiwan's vicinity, raising the security threat. Plus, Taiwan is taking lessons from Europe, from the war in Ukraine. We've seen in the last 3 years that undersea cables are sitting ducks. They're vulnerable. European cables have come under frequent attacks recently. Since October 2023, at least 11 Baltic cables have been damaged. And just like Taiwan, Europe has struggled to protect these cables. It has often accused Russia of sabotage, but in most cases, it could not back up the charge with evidence. Also, some officials dismiss the sabotage angle altogether. They say the cables were damaged by accident. Although NATO has not ignored the threat, it is not ignoring the threat. It has launched a new mission to protect the Baltic cables. But recent events have cast doubt on the future of such operations. US President Donald Trump is testing both Europe and NATO. He is reshaping American foreign policy and shifting closer to Russia. This has left NATO's future uncertain. And Taiwan would be watching all of this closely. Remember, just like Ukraine, Taiwan needs US support to defend itself. And the US has committed to defending Taiwan if China attacks. Officially, America's policy is that of strategic ambiguity. It supplies Taiwan with weapons, but remains vague on whether it will send troops in the event of a war. Now, with Trump in office, there's even more ambiguity or clarity, depends on how you see it. Clarity because Trump likes to put a price tag on everything. After Ukraine, his next move could be on Taiwan. It could become the target of Trump's transactional diplomacy. In fact, speculation is already rife in Washington. There is talk of tariffs on Taiwan. The only way to avoid them may be concessions. Reports say Trump could demand a major stake in TSMC. That's the world's largest maker of semiconductors. It's a Taiwanese company. Trump could ask for an American stake or American ownership. Needless to say, such a scenario would help China. At this point, this is all speculation and reports, but the way things have shaped up in the last few weeks, Taiwan would do well to be on its guard.
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat Kelogon, Komeri Namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically, in a month, we have viewers up to 150 million. That's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years, we had 3 billion viewers. So I say, Laurent, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs. And that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.